At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about, how it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today as we talk about the role of diaspora in the development of Kenya. Today, we are still in January, almost finishing January 2021. Liz, we are on air now. Thank you very much. We're on Facebook now. Thank you. Now, we're almost there, but I'll have to stop that. Okay. Thank you. So with me today, we're represented from United States of America. I always say Obama's land. We're represented from the UK. We are represented all the way from Netherlands. And we're also represented all the way from Kenya. I just hope the person in Kenya, Omax, we're going to hear you because we can't really hear you at all. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I have with me today, Walter from Kenya / UK. And I also have Omax from Kenya. I have Alex from UK as well. And I have Sarah all the way from the United States, Obama's land. Now more so, Obama's land. And I also have Thomas Musau, UK / Kenya. And I also have Elizabeth. So I'm going to let my guests introduce themselves before we start. Thank you very much. So I'll start with Walter, please.
Thank you, Lydia. My name is Walter Nunga. I'm currently residing in the UK. I do business consultancy for people on the individual level and also work in transport and sustainable environment within London, within one of the boroughs. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Walter. Okay, so I'll go to Thomas, please. Thomas, you're muted.
My name is Thomas Musau. I reside in the UK. I'm a businessman. I also represent the Wiper Party as Secretary General in the UK and a contestant for the Member of Parliament for Bawani constituency 2022. Thank you.
Okay, today we have with us a politician here, MP. We are going to vote for you, Thomas, not just because you're my personal friend, but because I know your values. So we are behind you 100%. And when you enter, I hope you're going to make changes. That's why you're here today. You're going to make changes. They say, if you can't join them, beat them. Please don't use that phrase. All right, thank you very much, Thomas. So I'll go to Sarah.
Thank you, Lydia, for having me here today. My name is Sarah Munyere. I reside in US, in New Jersey State, and I am a mother of 4 children and a wife, and I do work for a natural gas company. Been in US for a number of years. More to that, I'm the founder of Empowering People of African Descent, EPAD. And what we do with EPAD, we support and empower the children who are born of African people here in the United States and beyond. And we empower them with education, supporting them with making those choices and lead a completing school by providing the service and that they need and the information that they need to be able to be well equipped when they apply for college. We also provide mentorship for the generation that has been born here. And we are the link between them and other African countries. I'm also here representing One Voice. One Voice is an organization that is based here in United States, and we work to unite all Kenyans of similar interest so that we can be able to speak in one voice and to empower all people from Kenya and be able to work with the government in Kenya so that we can move in the direction that will help Kenyan citizens and other citizens of Kenya who are not necessarily living in Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sarah. So I'll go to Alex, please. Alex, we can't hear you. Nowadays, technology, okay? When Alex is preparing, Alex, okay, go on, Alex.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, I am Alex Kamau. I am a college lecturer here in England, in London. No political ambitions at all. And I write commentaries on topical issues affecting Kenya. And perhaps it is in the light of one of those that I am here today.
Thank you, Alex. In fact, your latest article really touched me. So I thought, you know what, let's come and discuss that as well, because it tarries with the role of diaspora in the development of Kenya, just one way. So I think it's nice for us to hear that in a later state. Okay, so Omax, please, if you can introduce yourself. I hope we're going to hear you. Omax, okay. That's actually... Hello, Omax. Okay, we can't hear you, Omax, which is really sad. But I think we'll skip you for now and go to the next person. And probably if your microphone is okay, then we'll come back to you. Okay. So I'll go to Elizabeth, please. Elizabeth. Max, we can't hear you, so.
Yeah, I'm here. I can't see.
Okay.
Do you see me?
No, we can't see you, Liz.
Yeah, what's...
Just introduce yourself while you get...
Oh, the video is off, yeah.
Because we can hear you.
Okay, you cannot start video because the
host has disabled video.
You've disabled the video, so... Okay.
Hello? Okay.
Okay. Good evening, all. My name is Elizabeth Atieno Mchembe Boss. Yeah. In the Netherlands. I come from Kenya. And I work for an organization both here in the Netherlands and in Kenya that helps to empower children to go to school and also to just, it's a humanitarian organization. Yeah. I'll maybe speak more about it later. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Okay, so I've tagged you as well, so you can share with your people. Omax, I'm just going to mute you because we cannot really hear you. We can just hear some really, we can just hear noise at the background. We can't really hear you. Can you try and speak again, Omax? No, we can't. Oh, this is bad. We can't hear you, Omax. It's okay. Everybody understands technology is it's not easy nowadays. So I think we'll skip you for now, Omax, because we can't hear you. Okay. Thank you. So we're going straight to our topic today, the role of diaspora in the development of Kenya. And we know of late, there's a lot of things that have been said in Kenya or going on, either about remittance, and we feel as diaspora, we always feel like our job or the reason why we're being appreciated in Kenya is just because of the remittance, but yet we are not even given the opportunity to go and to use our skills transfer our skills to develop Kenya or for the infrastructure. So we just want to ask, what is it that actually Kenyans impact directly into development of Kenya? Do we really impact either directly or indirectly? So that's what we're going to discuss today. And I'll start with Walter. If you're not talking, please mute yourself. If you're not talking, mute yourself, please. So I'll start with Walter.
Thank you, Lydia. I'll say the role of the people in diaspora is one that the economic and social impact which we provide is neglected largely by the governments where we come from. Because of our migration, people see it as brain drain, but the brain drain has a positive effect because we have, when we invest in Kenya, even though people say it's only you send money to your family, that may be true, but also we invest in projects. And these projects are deemed as foreign direct investment because we invest directly into our economy. When we invest into an economy like putting up a building, a structure, we encourage entrepreneurship and provide employment. And with this also we contribute to the taxes of both economies, but we find that our governments or where we come from, we are not engaged, we are not supported. With that, it leaves us in a place where we are important, but we're not important. I'll leave it at that for now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Walter. Thomas, our MP from Boni 2022, which is just next year. It's actually next year, Thomas. Have you started campaigns already?
Not yet, because there is official time when people are supposed to campaign. What we do is we build our names during this time, so we don't campaigning. Otherwise, you'll be in trouble with the IEBC. So what we are doing is doing what you can do to put your name out there. And
okay.
For more details, maybe at a later stage. But when it comes to diaspora and our impact in the society, in Kenya particularly, there is there's no one who can dispute that doing a lot. We are talking about 300 billion a year as we speak now. And only the highest level of ignorance would suggest that we are not making any impact to the economy, whether it is directly the economy or through supporting our own people. The government does know this because when some of us are voted, for example, when they reach at the airport, the government is quick to say, this person, we don't know them. Why do they do that? It's because they know when that person is out here or wherever they are coming from, what they are going to do, they are going to support so many people, and people are supposed to be dying in poverty will be supported by that particular person. So has anyone asked why the government is quick to support us when somebody has been deported? It's because they know the impact it has when one of us is out here. And what I could say is, I can only blame ourselves because we have not really taken up we have not lived up to the expectations of these people by acting together and by doing things from a common front. We have been very busy talking about issues, but very slow in acting on these issues. And therefore, what I can say is, where the rain started beating us is when we started not talking with them and talking to ourselves to come up with a strategy in which we can actually participate in these decision-making panels, being out there representing our people and speaking one voice. For now, I'll stop there because there is a lot that I can share regarding how to stand up and be heard.
So thank you, our MP. They say there's a power in the tongue, so we're going to confess that from today.
Amen.
So, so we want to say that that's a scheme of economic development, economic pocket development, because it's actually for them to deny somebody thinking, oh, you need to go back and make that money. It's because somebody is not so much about the development of the country itself. It's so much about how is my pocket developing. And that's why I think the neglect, like Walter said, is there, because it's more of an individual thing than a country per se. Anyway, I won't say much regards to that. I'm only a facilitator. So I'll go to Sarah, please. Thank you.
Thank you. And I definitely cannot agree more with Walter and Thomas, because exactly what they have said, it's what is happening. And even if we are not directly impacting the lives or the way the government is ran, indirectly, we do that through them, of course, the money we said, and through the other political avenues that we support, because we all have interest with Kenya. And when campaigns start, or even around this time, you see people form groups to support political people or people who are interested in learning, like we'll do for Thomas here. And we'll do parties, we'll do dinners here and raise funds, we'll do advertisement, but what do we gain as people who live in diaspora? How do we benefit by coming out every 4 years to engage ourselves in the political system of a country that don't recognize us with the human capital that we can bring to the country? I say human capital because there's so many people who are very qualified and who can do a lot for our country to change things for better. Majority of us are not even interested in coming to learn for a political party, but we are more interested in maybe helping the ministerial so that the Wajikos, the common person, our girls, our boys can really benefit from the services that the government is providing, and those services can be improved. So I definitely agree that, I believe that there's so much more that diaspora people can pray, but we don't get engaged enough. We don't get that opportunity to be able to serve our government. Even in, Walter said he is in consulting business. I haven't heard any government agencies coming to consult with businesses here that are owned by Kenyan. I know of government coming to consult with American business, and they'll invite them for dinner, but I would love to see more of Kenyans being invited to these forums where you come and meet one-on-one as a business person, as a community leader, as a person who can bring something to the table so that Kenyan here and Kenya can benefit.
Okay, thank you very much, Sarah. But on that note of engagement, I've seen, in fact, I've been part of, and like Musa will say, it's mostly our fault as well. I've been part of when politicians come and they engage with the diaspora in terms of creating little groups here and there to help them with their campaign, to raise money for them, because they know there's money in diaspora. They come, they'll engage with us, they'll lie to us, and we are the ones that are vulnerable enough to give them that platform. They ask and we give it. And then again, we will sit back and complain, because when they go back to Kenya, they do not do whatever they say they'll do. If you meet them in Kenya, they'll not even talk to you, but yet they'll come and engage with us here for that short time and make it all rosy, like this is what we're going to do. This is the changes we are going to implement. We're going to implement this and that. And when they go, it's back to join them if you can't beat them. Anyway.
I agree, because I've been one of those people who have been engaged in helping. And what I can say for us, like, or we can agree, is that we are not engaging ourselves in a more organized way here in Diaspora, in a way that we can be able to speak in one voice. And that's why, the organization that really got this opportunity for me to come to this forum, the One Voice Consortium, they are trying to bring individuals and organization together so that we can be able to be one when we speak. The organization that I started, the EPAD is trying to bring all descendants of Africa who are born here together to support them as they go on with their education, support them with their career, to build them, because I believe that if we build our children, they have one foundation, Africa will benefit much more, because they'll be able to be in another few years, or even now, as you can see in United States, we have a first woman vice president right now. We had a first generation of a president in Obama. So our kids are taking over, and we need to organize them, not only for them to benefit as an organized group that can benefit each other, but also for them to be able to stand for Africa, stand for Kenya, and be a voice. Where I live here in the United States, I see Jewish people from Israel, people from India, people from China organized. And so they are able to be on the table where the discussions happen that impact those countries. And I think we have to start there.
Yeah, and I think for all that to happen, there has to be a structure in place. And just like Musau said, and that's why I, for one, I'll be for diaspora. And yes, I know there's diaspora who have gone to Kenya, and they're MPs and senators, and they've just joined the club. They're doing the same thing that we always fought against, or they were fighting against when they were here. And I think it's time to have that structure in place of how diaspora is actually going to impact the development of Kenya, and our voices to be heard so that we are one. It's not diaspora here and people living in Kenya here. We are all one, but it has to be a structure put in place. So thank you, Sarah. So I'll go to Alex, please.
I think the question of, what is the role of the diaspora in the development of Kenya is such a wide question that probably maybe we would need to labor here for days and days to be able to answer it specifically. To answer it, because there's so much that could happen. Unfortunately, our greatest strength remains our greatest undoing in as far as those in power and those making decisions in Kenya are concerned. And I say so because if you look at the amount of money that the diaspora sends to Kenya every year, the statistics from the Central Bank of Kenya this year indicates that the Kenyans abroad send about 340 billion Kenya shillings, give or take. This is the equivalent of about 3% of the entire GDP of our country. And if you are to look at that in context and say, if this money was money held by anybody else, even an investor from abroad, they would really require their voice to be heard. For us, we are not, even when the contribution we are making is made out of patriotism, out of love for our country, and love for the people that we left behind. And unfortunately, at times I look at it as if much of our effort, besides the little money that we invest ourselves, goes towards plugging what I would call government failure. Because when we are paying money to educate people, when we are paying money for health, we are essentially paying things for which governments exist to collect taxes and be able to fulfill those obligations on behalf of the citizens who put them in power. So there is quite some disjoint there in terms of what we bring available and who we are and how we are made hard. Now, you mentioned an interesting thing that maybe even ex-diasporians, when they return to Kenya, and I don't want to mention them, but we know them by name. We know a good number of lawyers. I know actually a Kenyan lawyer who was abroad, very vocal and everything else, became an MP and everything else, and right now is at the center of decision making in government. But you look at this particular person and you say, is there anything remotely indicative that this is somebody whose way of thinking, whose paradigm probably maybe aligns with ideas that are new, that are better, and which would put our country forward? And the emphatic answer to that question is no, they do not. Then the question comes now, because I think we've spoken a lot about this again and again, and I've had the same story since I arrived in England many years ago. It's almost reached a point where we are almost in this kind of echo chamber where we come and talk about things year after year after year without anything really happening. I don't know whether we can be able to marshal enough number of people, because I have remained quite skeptical about, and I wouldn't want to discourage Musau, because Musau is a friend of mine of many years. A situation whereby the better strength that we would have, which are ideas, are not actually things which are very receptive. I had a friend of mine here in London who went to vie as an MP somewhere in Rift Valley some years, and he tried twice and he failed. And one of the things that actually shocked me considerably was people at the grassroots actually were campaigning not to have him in, because the kind of things that he's talking about, the kind of ideas he has, did not appear to align well with the interest of those seeking those political positions, because we need to stop being hypocritical. The reason why people want to become governors and senators and MPs in our republic is not to serve the public. It is to steal government money. That is the truth, and anybody who imagines the opposite is true is actually delusional. Mr. Mudavadi, Mr. Mudavadi, who many of you here would know, was saying that we have reached a situation in Kenya whereby after every 5 years, Kenya is minting 47 new billionaires. And what he was alluding, this is on record, what he was alluding to was the amount of money that is being stolen by our governors within that period of time. And many of you here might think that to become a billionaire as a governor is going to take a lot of effort. It is not. All they need to do within the 5 years, they need to steal 200 million shillings every year. Within 5 years, without a single salary, they will become billionaires. That, my friends, is the allure. That is the attraction to these two people. And I think unless we are able to come up with such a strong grassroots movement that mobilizes Kenya, that confronts them with these kind of ideas through whatever means we can be able to do and try to empower our people, we will still end up where we began. And I tell you, many of us, and I think, thank Lydia, this panel quite seems to be quite representative of our republic. If you think about the governor from the place where you come from, I think if we remove the possible exceptions of people like Kifuda Kibwana and maybe a few others, I am telling you, the rest of them are just a bunch of pathological liars. And I think anybody else who thinks otherwise is the one who needs to realign their thoughts with reality. That just is the way things are. And I would imagine, and I really hope somebody like Musau, that maybe if time comes and you are an MP in 2022, you can be able to articulate these issues. Because sometimes I sit down and ask myself, many of the politicians we have, the median age of most of our politicians in Kenya is 54 years and above. You ask yourself, is some money not enough? Is there not an amount of money that you get and you say, look, how many more years do I have in this life? How many more years do I have to live? How many more billions do I have to get to be able to live tomorrow? Is there not something we used to call marginal returns, that every extra shilling delivers on lower returns than the previous one? These are conversations we will be having moving forward. I hope it doesn't become a rant, and I hope that those listening out there will be able to look at it and say, I think we can be able to change it. We can change the narrative ourselves, and we who are informed, if we can be able to speak these things and say them again and again, I think the ground is not going to shift overnight, but even if it shifts one step, I think the Kenya we are in today is not the Kenya we had in the 1990s. It is not the one that we had in the 1980s. And I am sure the children who are in Kenya being born today, they may well have a better country than we had. And I think the English word for that is called progress.
So we are in progress, would you say?
The progress is there. It may be slow, but I think the country is better off, only that development in itself brings along other challenges and other problems. When I was in school doing my studies, I never had things like labor abuses or maybe environmental degradation being a problem in China. The fact that this country is developing, those are becoming collateral problems that the country now is confronted with. If you look at our country, because thankfully the size of our economy has increased over the years, it means that there is more money to be looted. The question is, to what extent can we be able to shift the narrative so that those who have made their wealth from the public domain or from the public purse becomes people that we see as pariahs? And I say pariahs because societies do develop. There were some times in Kenya when it was cool to drive a car being drunk. I am sure people have seen the consequence of that and they are not celebrating it anymore. There was a time when probably maybe having multiple sexual partners made you a better man. I'm sure that is not the case today. People can be able to see the risks associated with that, and they can say they will be able to modify their behaviors accordingly. So I imagine there were times when maybe educating girls was something that a few people thought was not an investment worth. Our society has shifted. So I think the development may not be, the country may not be where we want it to be, but I think it will be dishonest to say we have not done something. We are progressing slowly. The regret is that we could do much better.
Okay, thank you. And just talking about the 47 billionaires, I'll say the cartels, sorry, I hope they won't shoot me for that. I'll say the cartels, but when BBI comes in, I think we'll have double of that. We won't have only 47 new billionaires, we'll have more than that if the BBI comes on. And Musau, you have a long job to do. You have a big job to do. I hope you'll not join them. Thank you very much, Alex, for that. So I'll go to Omax. I hope you're going to hear him because I know he has very powerful and strong points to add, to contribute today. So it will be a shame if we can't hear him. Omax, please. Nah, Omax, we can't hear you. Omax, I'm sorry, we can't hear you, and we can't hear you. Oh, Max, I'm so sorry. It's not your fault, it's technology. So I think we'll move on. And when we can hear you next time, we're still here for the next 2 hours. I hope by then you'll have fixed your microphone. So I'll go to Elizabeth. Elizabeth, please. Thank you.
Yeah, a lot has been said, and we keep on every election, we keep on talking about the same thing, the same narrative, and nothing is changing much. So for me, I would say that, also the politicians, they need us as diaspora to move their agendas forward. So we can also play hard to get and put forward our agenda in one voice. We know what we need. And basically, when you're living abroad, then you get to learn that really my country is not where it is supposed to be. And there's so many things that are not well done there in Kenya that can only be changed maybe in parliament. So maybe we should get more of us, the diaspora, to vie for these positions so that we can really be the change that we want to see. But there's a problem also, because when you go there thinking, okay, I'm going to change things, And then when you are there, then you forget why you went there. That one is, I don't know how we will prevent that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I know we have a few people who are really, we have a few people who are genuine and can do things. But how can we get them to be in those positions? How? That's the question.
Yeah. I think
Because
it's just
okay, yeah.
No, I was just saying, I think it's just what Alex said. It's not about vying for the positions, actually, from diaspora. It's them actually doing what they say they'll do, making that change, creating that opportunity for others as well. But the fact that, and it's not, I know Alex gave example of one without giving names, but it's not just that one. There's so many of them. There's so many of them until we sit back and think, do we really have somebody who comes from diaspora to go and represent us? Because once they go, they enter into the system.
Yeah.
They call it systematic oppression system in place that once you enter, you just get sucked in and you start behaving like all of them. You become one of the cartels, I would say. So go on, you're about to finish your point, Liz.
Yeah, so it is something that we can achieve. We can achieve, we can change things if we want to change things by planning prior to like these elections that are going to come. We can still change things. I believe that even if it is just 10%, we can still, you know, it's better you start changing things in a small way, just like baby steps. But at least you can see that you're changing something. People in the diaspora, they are really trying so much to empower people back home. I know that. Me being one of them, Lydia being one of them, and many other people who are not maybe in this Zoom meeting right now, or maybe they're just following. But again, Kenya has made it so difficult. Like, for example, when you have an idea and you want to do maybe a business, you see, I want to do a business in Kenya, or I want to do a business, or I want to open an organization, like to start an organization in Kenya. It has been made so difficult. You know, you want to give, or maybe you have investors who want to invest, but it is very difficult because it's like you have to know so and so for you to help your people. It's not supposed to be like that. I'm in the Netherlands, yes, and I like the way things are done here. Like, I relocated here in 2011. And yeah, after I settled a bit, I thought of starting the same organization that we founded in Kenya here. It wasn't difficult. It wasn't so difficult as like it would be in Kenya. And I thought, you know, when I was thinking of it, I thought it will be ambiguous. It will be so difficult to start, but it wasn't. Because they think of, okay, you want to help people, you want to change, let us support her to change the situation. But in Kenya, it is different. It is like, what am I gaining? Oh, it's like maybe she's gaining more, or is she, how much is she getting? How much is it is just so difficult in Kenya. I hope and I wish they can let people who want to do who want to do development in Kenya do it in peace. I would say in peace, because it is very difficult to get there if you don't know somebody. But it is so easy to do it in abroad, only putting papers in place, which can also be done in Kenya. It can be done because it is the same papers, the same regulations. Okay, you want to register an organization to help people. Yeah, you need this and that, you need a lawyer, it's the same in Kenya, but then it will drag in Kenya, it will drag. Here it doesn't drag. You have all the requirements, yes. You are qualified, yes. Do you have the money to register it? Yes. You have the mandate to do it? Yes. It is approved. But in Kenya, a lot of bureaucracy until you just get so tired in doing the development that you can do to help your own people.
Yeah.
So it is us, because we support Kenya a lot, the people in the diaspora. So because of the remittance that we sent back home. So we have a say. We have a say, and we have, in fact, we are, I don't know, we are the decision makers actually, because the amount of, yes.
Yeah, money-wise.
Yeah. Money-wise. But money moves the world anyway.
Yeah. So it's really hard regards documentations, but it's very easy for them to receive the 340 billion that we send each year.
If we decide and we unite, we are going to make it.
Okay, thank you.
But I don't want to, next time, I don't want to come to the same meeting to discuss the same thing. I want us to discuss the way forward, how we're going to make it, what's the criteria, and because
and that's why we have Musau here. That's why we have Musau here with us, Elizabeth. I'll stop you there. We'll come back to you. That's why we have Musau here to listen to this. And when he goes there, he's going to implement it, not to join them.
Can I contribute?
Yeah.
Good, thank you. Yes, I want first of all to respond to a number of that were raised in reference to me. Alex said, it's not easy to win the elections in Kenya because obviously what is happening in Kenya. Yes, that is a big one, and obviously I have that one in mind when I decided to go for this particular seat. So I've been doing a lot of things with the friends, and hopefully I've made some impact, and come 2022, then I'll have made even more impact. And even if I lose, this game is about winning and losing. There must be a winner and there must be a loser. But at least there are some issues that I discussed with the people on the ground and with my people here, which I know somehow will be put forward by whoever is going to go, whoever is going to win. But I am not going to say that I'm not going to win because I know I'm going to win. And I've put systems and the processes in place. And they come 2022, those who have worked with me know me very well. I have been well brought up, number one, and I work in the community, and I manage money for the government and for the community. And so far, over 15 years, I've never been in any scandal. So you can imagine, if I'll be given that money, I will, unless I'm bewitched, then I think I'll maintain my standards, because I have people who are telling me, Thomas, Musau stands for this, and make sure that you do what you do here. And that is what my promise is. If then I change, then God will see me. I hope one day you come and I say, actually, you are 1 in a million. That's what I want to be with that when it comes.
Thank you.
What I can say is, to actually penetrate in Kenya, where politics of stomach has been has been part of us for a long time, is not easy. And I'm one person who believes in development, not handing out cash. So that could be an issue, and I'm putting this forward to my people in the village and my area. I'm standing that it's not about people giving you money now and you see them after 5 years. Think of development, continuous development, because most of the people, like for example, my main competitor has not been seen for many years. And now that I've heard somebody is thinking of coming, is now starting to do something. Where was he before then? So we want to have this change, culture change, whereby people do not.
Wow. Okay. We've lost Musau, and somebody was actually even asking a question. Okay, and I actually wanted to tell Musau he has a disadvantage with Kenya. If you don't have a scandal, you don't stand a chance. That's just on a lighter note. Don't take it personal. All right. So I'll go to John. John Kanyaru also joined us, and he's the chair of KBA. Kanyaru, you've made me make enemies because of this KBA with Kanyaru. All right.
Thank you, Lydia.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was in another Zoom meeting. That's why I'm late.
Okay. Elizabeth, sorry, John. Elizabeth, you're upside down. Sorry.
I am John Kanyaru. I reside in UK.
Okay, John, go on.
I reside in UK, and I am glad to be part of this discussion. These are matters that we have spoken before, and I know the role of diaspora in contributing to Kenya. I've been into this forum, and obviously I know the importance of the finances through remittances, investment, knowledge transfer and skills transfer, and obviously becoming an antithesis, challenging what is on the ground. That is part of the development agenda. However, it's unfortunate that Musau has just dropped off. But I wanted to offer myself. I've vied twice in Kenya. The terrain is a bit rough, and I would offer free consultation before his flight to Kenya, so that I tell him the pitfalls to avoid, because it is very easy to Musau. I'm saying I am offering myself as a free consultation. I've vied twice. There are some pitfalls you need to know, because when you come from this side, you are very naive, and actually you are very vulnerable. The people on the ground, they don't reward being a good person. I think it's just being shrewd and knowing how you will navigate the waters. And when you get the other side, then you can deliver. That one we will talk, because you have my number. One of the things that I have had a thought about Kenya is that every election we vote some leaders, they go into the parliament and into leadership, and they behave the same. Then we change them. 80% of members of parliament in Kenya, they don't come back. Then the next lot behave like the previous one. There is one thing that we have to accept as a nation. If the population that we are getting, the sample size from the Kenyan population, because now no Ugandans, no foreigners that are elected in the Kenyan political scenario, they are Kenyans. They are behaving the same since independence. That tells you this is a sample from the larger size. That means if our politicians are corrupt, Kenyans are corrupt. First of all, we agree to that point, so that now we can be able to sober up and move forward by accepting there is a problem. Even if we change them every month, the next lot will behave like the previous one. And this is
sorry, John, I'll ask you. So are you trying to say that we as Kenyans, we are all corrupt?
Listen, well, I'm trying to put an inference. If every elections we elect leaders and we call them corrupt, then we remove those in the next parliament, we get other corrupt. That means this is a sample from the whole population. This is a cultural decay that we need to address. And one thing that I would say, for us to have a clean start, this is me, I think we need, first of all, we agree that we are all corrupt and run short of the glory of the Lord, as the Bible says. And then we say, let's create laws that are very punitive for those people who are corrupt. But we pardon everybody has stolen from 1963 until today. We tell them, bring your money, create industries, employ people, because we have people who are corrupt and they have billions. All we hear year after year is that we have KACC, they will be used, or rather we will take them to court. It never happens. It is better one billionaire who has stolen from us, bring some billions, create an industry, and employ our young people. And without fear that they will be prosecuted, they might bring money on board. Our culture needs to change. Ask myself, I've been on the ground, and Musau, you will come and tell me. Because even the people that you are asking for vote, some of their behaviors are very unbecoming. And it is very easy to criticize when you are outside. Now, diaspora. We can influence if we are organized. We are disorganized, even when you are sending remittances. Obviously, everybody send at their own pace. That way, the government knows that you are not united, because if 300 billions are going through an organized investment structure, the government will know we don't want to lose this. But they know even if Musau is angry, if Alex is angry, that's your own business. Why the Israelis, they are influential here, and US and other places, because they invest communally and they influence the government communally, because they are saying we have 1 trillion. If you tell Kenyan government now, you have 1 trillion shillings that you want to invest as diaspora, they will even create a ministry of diaspora. The other thing is about, once you become strong in terms of investment, you are together organized, you are able to influence politically. That is the point. Now you will start demanding for seats in the Senate, seats in Parliament, so that because you will be able to put an argument. If we are bringing 1 trillion, we need a representative. And maybe people like Musau will not be going to fight it out. They might be nominated to protect our investment. So we are a bit disorganized, and we really need to take that position by coming up together, so that we are able to speak in the same voice and we are able to influence matters politics. Finally, Musau is going along with his investment and his wife's investment. Whether he lose or he win, he is not our candidate as diaspora. If the next election or this one, diaspora, we vet our presidential candidate and we say, with our money, we will give you this if you would do the following changes for the betterment of the country. Then we start fundraising for our presidential candidate and we give him 10 billion. We will have a stake. We can question him. But unless we are doing that, we are just wishing that things will be good without even participating in vetting those who are in leadership. I'll stop there for now, but I know those looks a bit radical position, but I think we just need to be crazy to change that nation. But finally, I would actually, after I saw what happened in Uganda and Tanzania, man, we have a good country. We have matured a bit, because I've never seen a country whereby you imprison your competitor immediately after the votes has been. Raila has been making noise. At least he's safe. This, I would say, thumbs up for Kenya. Where we have come from, it was difficult, but we are in a better place than our neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you so much. But it took a lot of bloodshed to get there. Thank you so much. So we need a 47 county That's what you're saying. So if we work together, we're going to have a 47 county that represent diaspora. And I think that's what we are crying for. That's what, as diaspora, we are saying we need that county that represents us. People like Musau, you need to fight for that. So now, before we continue, I know everybody have spoken, but again, we're still going to speak because there's so many questions here as well. And just to say thank you to the viewers. I've not forgotten you. I know I've not said thank you since we started. I've not forgotten you, our viewers. So thank you once again for sharing. Keep on sharing. I can see somebody gets in here straight away, they start sharing. They always tell me, they have shared already. So thank you very much for sharing. And thank you for liking. And the one thing we like the most is your comments, your suggestions, your ideas, please. Throw it at anybody you want to. I can see somebody have said something to John. They disagree with John. Throw it to anybody you want. Musau is here. He needs to tell us what he's going to do different, that we need to vote for him. Because personally, I'm not going to waste my vote on anybody. I'll say that for sure. Unless you tell me, this is what I'm going to do that have not been done before. Yeah, then I can give you my vote. So I just want to say, just read some few things that people have said. I think we Kenyans need to, 1, think beyond tribal lines. 2, how can we get rid of corruption from the top to the bottom? 3, any ordinary Kenyans aware that they are taking care of all their politicians by paying taxes. So that's somebody say that. If anybody wants to take that down and probably answer them, okay? Think beyond tribal lines, which we all know that in Kenya, the biggest problem we have is tribalism in Kenya. That is really bad. You know, it's so bad that one day people didn't really know where I come from because of my hair, my short hair, the color, my accent, my name, everything. One day I went to visit my grandma in Kisumu. They had me speaking Luo. My inbox was full. We didn't know you were a Luo. And then some people decided to block me just because I'm a Luo, you know. So it's that bad. It's that bad. Now, and I think Alex was saying something because somebody said, no, they don't, Alex. So I don't know, but that person was speaking to Alex. And someone said, we Kenyans have a trend of fearing tackling our problems. That's where we get disappointed every now and then, again, by the same failed politicians. But still, we fall for their rat trap tactics. I think that person is actually referring to what Alex was saying. And then someone says, my opinion has always been that where Kenya is now, we don't need a politician, but a manager. Musalia Mudavadi looks more of a manager than a politician to me. Someone say that, and then of course people started answering that, commenting, yes, no, yes, no. Someone says, no, sorry, but wrong. Musalia Mudavadi is a bad manager. And how about we get a way to change the law of ruling duration from 5 years to maybe 2 years? That way, we would be in a position to correct things faster before it's too late. It will also give chances to young potential leaders to actively participate and help grow. I think we need a total new generation who have felt the pinch, not that ever since eaters. What is the retirement age in Kenya again? I don't even know what the retirement. Do we even have a retirement age? Because I see people are 78, they still want to be president. Anyway, the president of America is 78. Is that true, Sarah? So they can still function. Okay, going through Biden's initial cabinet, there are already 15 from the Indian subcontinent. There is only one African. These appointed are people with impressive academics. Does it mean that majority of Africans out there are not well qualified, or are they less ambitious who end up with poor lying graded jobs? Okay, Mr. Msau, I like your courage and positivity towards life. I wish you success. Someone say registering a business is an online exercise. You hardly have face-to-face meeting. When did When did that lady last tried to set up a business here? Let's avoid hearsays. I think that's to either Elizabeth, maybe. And then I'll stop there. I'll just read one and stop there, and I'll come back. Lydia Olet, is it a lie anyway that all Kenyans are corrupt? Okay. They are corrupt, apart from me. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for that. Okay, viewers, thank you very much. We'll move on and then we'll come back to you again because we are one. We don't want you to feel like you're there and we're here. So keep on forwarding, please keep forwarding and keep your comments coming. Okay, let me just read it for John first. And then John Kanyaru, I disagree with you. I disagree with you how you think, but respect your opinion on forgiving stolen looters from 1963 to date. Okay, all right, I'll stop there. And then moving on. Wow, that was full on. I like that. Okay, so I'll come back again to Walter as we continue with the conversation. Oh, first of all, before I go to Walter, I'll go to Sarah. Sarah had her hands up. Sarah? Sarah?
Yes, I just wanted to follow up on what John mentioned. And he mentioned about having a political influence as people of diaspora. He also mentioned about the influence that we have that we can use. And you know, the thing is, we have influence with our money, but we don't really get, in return, we do not get a strong response to the money that we give. If we are second in the money that the foreign currency that it's brought to Kenya as diaspora, what do we get in return? And I think, like we all agree and support John, we really need to be organized so that we can have a bigger influence in what we get or what Kenya, you know, even the people that we elect. And if how do now our issue is how do we get organized? How do we bring all our might together so that we can talk in one unison? And that has been the issue for many years. It has been an issue that end up affecting what we get from the government because we are very, I would say we are very selfish in our own way. There is also a lot of greed because when one gets pointed to be of influence, many of us don't want to join, or many people don't join in to make that person stronger so that we can be a stronger diaspora. And I think there is definitely an issue of, you know, being selfish, greed. And also, I feel like sometimes, like Elizabeth said, small things, we can start with small things and we can build on them. We can start thinking about what are the issues that are affecting us as diasporas. What are things that we can change so that our next year or the next government that comes will give us a better opportunities to be able to invest our money without fear, to invest, you know, in social capital, political, or whatever, or create jobs for that matter. You know, we don't have that. There are a few groups that are now I hear, you know, they are organized and they go build or they go invest in other areas. But Umoja ni nguvu. If we are united, we'll work as one block and we'll be able to get a lot of things that we desire to have. You know, think about even as simple things as adopting. You know, majority of us can be able to raise a child from Kenya. But adoption in Kenya, if you live in diaspora, it's impossible. You have to go live there for you to be able to help a child that you won't adapt. You have to live there for a period of time. And if you're working, you are of age to be able to raise a child. You can't be able to go live there because you're working. Otherwise, you'd have to, I guess, quit your livelihood to be able to help a child. But there are small things that we can start with, even without having an office, because I think an office will be, it will be a bigger bite to chew, especially now that we are not organized. But if we do small things, we start with having an organization that we all support, and we vet the leadership of that organization, not to put them in political power, but for them to be able to lead the diasporan, and then we'll be able to influence the political system in Kenya. We'll be able to influence the way education is it's done. We'll be able to influence the way things are done in Kenya. We have the money, but we are not organized. Without organization, even if we double the 3 billion that we said, we'll still continue getting what we are getting, peanuts. Getting nothing, pretty much.
Okay. Thank you very much. Just before I go to Alex, because I know he has his hands up as well. John is my witness here. We had a former chair of IBC, and in fact, that's exactly what he said. And he used the word that we like using as Kenyans, utadu. And he said that is what they will say to us. It's not because we don't have the money, the education, the skills, the ambitions. It's their togetherness. Is that we are not organized. Is to have a structure like Musau mentioned, that we all diaspora have one voice. And that's why I'm impressed about One Voice Consortium in America. If we have that one voice, then your utadu will not be used in a government setting regards diaspora. So thank you very much for that, Sarah, as well. So I'll go to Alex, who had his hands up. And then I'll actually read, because we have Omax here. Omax is in Kenya, and we cannot hear him whatsoever. So he has written what he wanted to say down. And I'll probably ask Walter to read that after Alex. And then I also have a question for Musau. Somebody said, I have a question. What is the root cause of the problems in Kenya? Because we may be addressing different problems. So this one will go to Musau. After Walter reads what Omar said, Musau, I would like you to just respond to this question. What is the root cause of problems in Kenya? So I'll go to Alex. Thank you, Alex.
Now, I think there's quite a lot to chew, and I thank Sarah and John, and of course, those people who have spoken before me. And I just want to pick up on two issues. One that John mentioned. And although we appear to be opposing John, I don't believe everybody is corrupt in Kenya, but I think it would be a fair comment to say that most people in Kenya are corrupt, and that they will not shy from enjoying the proceeds of a deal, even if it is corrupt. And let's just start from a very, very fundamental level. You will go and hear the headmaster of a school saying that, the Kenya government is very corrupt, every office is corrupt and everything else. But this probably maybe is head teacher who is barely in school. I say this because members of my own family work in Kenya in schools, and as do many others. This is a head teacher or headmistress who, for maybe out of 5 days in a week, this person is in school for maybe 2 or 3 days. It means there are days they are being paid money, and a lot of money, by the Kenyan government, and they are not there. If you are benefiting from the proceeds of money you should not be entitled to, especially public money, the definition of that and the precise definition is corruption. So to an extent, the politicians we are represent who we are people that are determined to celebrate, are people who are determined to honor and benefit from the proceeds of public money which is stolen. That is the truth. And the saddest thing is that this has permeated even in the church, because I came of age in the 1990s when Kenya had bishops like people called Bishop Okulu, Manasseh Kuria, Getari, and the rest of them, Moge, and others who are almost incorruptible, Dingi, and the rest of them. Today, you can hardly pick a leader of a church in Kenya who can stand up and say, I am clean. I can be a good example to the rest of the country. So when we say most of us are corrupt, I agree with John completely. The question is, what can we do? And I believe the media, especially a free media, and thank God now we don't have to rely on newspapers. We can be able to write posts and share them widely. We can be able to call these things out. And I think if the voices become more amplified again and again, it is going to become possible for people to see that sometimes corruption does not pay, because I believe even when the cases of people paying for it are different, are far in between, at least we're starting to make some movements in that direction. So that is one point. The second point relates to something Sarah said, and I think Musau to an extent. How are we going to mobilize ourselves? Because I have been in this country for years and years, and every time the idea of leadership, the idea of us grouping together has been spoken again and again. It is a debate and it's a conversation to be had. How we are going to have one voice, because you look at the UK where we are, there are less than 200, I think there are just about 200,000 Kenyans in the UK. And yet, even organizing those people is still a problem, because there is one group that says this, another group says this, and people are almost divided in the middle. If I am not included in a group, in the leadership of a group, no matter how well meaning that group is, I don't want to be a member. And I echo some words which were said by another panelist we had last week, I think about 3 weeks ago, called Juliet Makapila. I don't believe it's everybody who can lead. There are people who believe they can be leaders, but these people are hopeless. They can make contributions in other ways, but they cannot lead. It is as simple as that. They cannot lead. They can make contributions in other ways, and but they cannot lead. And the tragedy of that is that reflects the political leadership we have in Kenya. There are many people in Kenya holding positions of enormous power, but these are individuals who should not be anywhere making decisions on behalf of everybody else. They have contributions to make, but they should not be leaders. My last point regards what we can do even when we are not politicians ourselves. And this brings me the idea of starting things. If we are unable to influence matters nationally, we can be able to influence matters from the grassroots. Can somebody go back to the ward they come from and maybe see whether they can make a difference? And I want to remind people on this panel, and I think people here would be very well informed, to think about a lady by the name of Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams is the lady who led the grassroots movement of registering Black voters that made that state to vote for a senator, a Black senator to the US Senate. It's a Republican state, but she has redrawn the rules of the game and literally almost delivered the Senate to the US to Joe Biden. This is a lady and almost did it single-handedly. She has written a book called Lead from Outside, and it is a book that many of us would be invited to try and read to be able to understand what we can be able to do at the grassroots level and move up. And the final point is that even when we are not politicians, if we got organized, we can lobby people, get individuals in the national parliament that we can be able to have championing our cause. And the way we can be able to do it, it's unfortunate people do it here and they do it very, very, very easily. And those in the UK would understand that the Irish lobby in the United States, the Irish lobby made up of Irish immigrants, has been able to lobby successive US governments to come up with policies which are very, 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 very attractive to Ireland against the UK. In fact, Joe Biden has said what is going to be the underlying determination of the decision he will take with regard to the UK and trade has to include Ireland. And this is a small country which is able to punch above its weight because they are able to lobby. And they say the Irish lobby is not a group of very many people, but they are strong, their voice is able to be heard, and they are able to push things forward. We need to have these ideas, and those listening probably can be able to see, I think we can be able to shift this direction. We can be able to move this idea forward. And I think I'll leave it for now at that point.
Thank you, Alex. And a lot of people are actually in agreement with you here. And what I'll say regards what you said is we have leadership struggle. It's leadership struggle, or somebody actually said it here on Facebook as well, inherited. Oh, because your father is on top, so my son has to be on top. My son doesn't even know how to start what is politics, what is how to be a leader. There is no leadership skills whatsoever. And I know there is this SWOT thing is in business, but I think every leader needs to do that SWOT within themselves, their strength, their weakness, opportunity, and threat. What's your threat to the community when you take that position as a leader and you have no idea, you have no clue on what even the meaning of leadership is? And you also, so you take the opportunity as well. So I think we, as people who call themselves the so-called leaders, they should do that SWOT analysis within themselves. So it's not just a business term anymore. We should use it even within ourselves. So I know Sarah has a hand up, but Sarah, I'll let you talk a little bit later, because I'll give the opportunity to Walter first, because we have Omax. And it's so sad because I know Omax is actually a teacher in one of the Kibera schools that we are trying to help as well. And for him to come and participate, it's something, because we know electricity probably is difficult there as well. And we can't hear him. So he wrote his points down. So Walter is going to read them. So Walter, please.
Thank you, Lydia. I think we met Omax when we were in Kenya with you one time. Yes, in Kibera. This is what Omax says. I appreciate the fundamental role played by the Kenyan diaspora. As said, it's high time Kenyans in diaspora speak up their voice, unite together, and bring about change back home. It's painful when I learn even my kid who is yet to be born already has a debt to pay. This is sarcastic, really relying on impunity of the highest order. When I read about remittances that come to Kenya from diaspora, that money is more than enough to run government projects. Our bigger problem is political scavengers, tumbocrats who embezzle and mismanage these funds. That is where he stopped. And if Lydia permit me, I can carry on with my point, or do you want to make a comment there?
Okay. No, it's okay. You can carry on with your point.
Okay, from what even Omax has said, I would just like to echo what John, Thomas, and every other panelist has said. What I want to say is that in Kenya, I don't know which term to use. One friend of mine told me Kenya is a sick society. So I asked him, what does he mean? He said, Kenya, people complain. After they complain, they go around electing the same people who were there before. And if you look at it, all our leaders have been in the diaspora. If you look from His Excellency the President, Right Honorable Raila, if you go down the list, and their children are not even in Kenya, some of them, they study abroad, yet they do not want to recognize the diaspora. Why? Because they know the power of the diaspora. They don't want to embrace them. At the moment in Kenya, there's something very sad happening, which is not even being addressed. We're talking of hustlers and dynasties. And this is creating a divide. We've moved from the political angle into stigmatizing people. The other day, a man who has been working hard, his lorry was burned with cows. That is, each cow is worth of more than 30,000. That's a lot of money burnt, wasted, gone. And somebody's trying to come up in Kenya to make better for his community and his family. The other day, there are so many things going around on this dynasty and hustler. Then we have the issue of the BBI, Building Bridges Initiative. We at Diasporas have presented what we weren't done. When this came up, I was in Kenya. I tried signing on. It couldn't let me. So our voice is not heard. On this point, as Jonah said, we are not organized. We need to come together because the government knows we're not organized. At the moment, they're trying to do a survey. Why are they doing a survey? They've never done a survey before, but they realize there's something here they're missing out. We don't even have a bank where our own money goes into. When we remit, we don't have and we use all sorts of sources to remit our money. Well, if you look at the Jewish community, even in the UK itself, they have their own hospitals, their own ambulances. Within a city, they have their own ambulances that attend to their own people. On that point, we need to get ourselves organized and come together as one voice. Thank you, Lydia.
Okay, thank you. Maybe the research is geared towards 2020. We actually even sent more money than 2019. With all the COVID going around and diaspora, we are crying. We told Kenyans, stop asking us for money because we are not working. But yet, we still send more money than we did 2019. So why won't they, the government, why won't they want to do a survey? Because they think, oh, we're missing something, just like Walter rightfully said. And that is when I saw Alex's article regards to that. And I totally, when I read it, I was impressed. And I told him that article needs to be seen by all diaspora. And he actually needs to have a side as well where we can actually sign it and say, yes, agree, yes, agree. So I think, Alex, you need to have that part of diaspora signing it and let it go around for us to sign. And trust me, I will help you take it round. But I know One Voice Consortium in America as well. They're planning to have something like that, to have their own bank where diaspora, we can all use that. We can use that platform to be sending money, which is good. That is a good thing. That's why I'm impressed with One Voice, because they're trying to do things that we've tried to do as diasporans, but we failed. And they still struggle, but they're trying. Before I come to you, Sarah, I'll still go to Musau first because I had a question that you need to answer. But before Musau can answer that, I'll say thank you as well to our viewers. Thank you very much, our viewers. We really, really appreciate you 100%, because without you, this show won't be happening. It's only happening because of you being here. Is happening by you sharing, happening by you liking, happening by you commenting and giving us your views as well. So thank you very much. Keep sharing, keep sharing. Thank you so much, Caroline Adenya, who is always here first and always sharing before everybody else. She also has her own organization in helping the girl child. And we had that on platform last week when we were talking about girl child. I've heard, I don't know, I know today is a different topic, so I won't go on what's happening with girl child right now in Kenya, because that would just make me boil. So somebody say, very, very true, Mr. John, go deeper on that point, sir. Imagine we are remitting a lot of billions, but in a disorganized manner with our representation. And going down, somebody said managers are business-oriented, not governors. And the people with power have no vision, and the people with vision have no power. Wow, that's really sad, and that's really deep. Somebody, I'm enjoying this session. And then someone say, you true. These people in those top positions, most of them are position inherited. People who vote are afraid of holding the political class to account. That's true. It's because the visionaries give the power to vision less. And someone coming together in the diaspora is always affected by class and lane formations. That oscillators around simple things like where one was staying in Nairobi, because coming over, and believe you me, the school one attended apart from the one who argument. Tribalism also plays a role. Okay, we reached there and we continue. So I'll ask Musau to answer that question before Sarah can come in. Musau, please.
Thank you, Lydia, for the opportunity. The question was about the root cause of problems in Kenya. I don't know which problem it is, but I think
There's too many problems, Musau. You can't even
when
say
it comes
that.
to root, yes, I know the answer. The answer is leadership. It's the root cause of all the problems, regardless which one the person is referring to. Reason being, we have seen bad countries where bad leadership has put people into problems, and we have had good leadership that have put people into those countries back to online and have made tremendous progress in terms of democracy, in terms of development. And Kenya has had good leaders as well as bad leaders. I don't want to analyze each leader, but I would say if we have a good leader in our country, and the leaders also in other areas like at the county level, at the constituency level, then we are good to go. And I know this is possible because we are making a lot of development in terms of democracy, in terms of people getting empowered. And I know Africa, we are still very far, but something is happening. I can feel it. If people are coming out of, are choosing people, and tomorrow they decide this person should go, that is really real development. Before, it never used to happen. So we're making good progress. I want to read, Lydia, if you don't mind, can I respond to 2 points raised by John?
Yeah.
John said, first of all, I am vulnerable and naive according to his judgment. Serve his mentorship. Thank you very much for the offer. That's number one. Number two, this vulnerability and naivety could also be a strategy. So don't underrate me. So there could be a way of, it could be a strategy to get to what I want to achieve. But having been in that, having traveled along that road, I'll accept the offer and I'll be going to your inbox as soon as this is this session is over. And definitely I know there's a way forward with you having that experience of having been a contestant. The other thing I liked about your presentation was about having a diaspora candidate, which I'm going to buy, and because I think it's a good idea. And I want to say that come 2022, what about having a memorandum of understanding of myself as a diaspora? You give me all your demands when I go to the parliament, because I know I will not sit down and warm the seat like some many members of parliament who sit there and start dozing off as if they went there to sleep and they have a cup of tea. I will be noisy, as I've always been, when things are not done. If we have a more with the diaspora, and diaspora says, let us now have a case study of Musau, and there's maybe 2 or other 3 people who are coming from diaspora, and they are going there to 50% represent their people and 50% to pursue the interests of the diaspora, because I do think we have to be in it to win it. That's a strategy that if you sit out there and you shout loudest, nobody will ever listen to you. But if you are inside, there is a likelihood something will happen. If I can have 2 people or 3 who have been sponsored by diaspora and given signed a MOU where we say, whenever, if I'm there, you'll definitely have a ministry. And we, even if it means bribing those people to get that ministry, we do it because something has to happen. And if it is about representation and having people elected in the diaspora to go and represent them in parliament, those will be the issues that the people you will send as diasporans through a structured way of doing things, that is something I personally would support, and I would suggest, because me, I'm a solution-oriented person. I don't just talk. I walk the talk.
I agree. I
You
agree.
agree with me? And many people will tell you, those who have dealt with, I don't like empty talks. And if you come to me, you talk to me, I listen to you, and tomorrow you don't even follow up, you are not my friend. So my friends are people who can walk the talk. So what I'm going to suggest is we come up with 2 or 3 people from the diaspora who are going to say, these are our guinea pigs. These are the people who are going to go there and they see whether they're going to do what they have said they will do. And obviously, if they go there and they change, then you know we have tried. Are we together? And when it comes now to what we should do there, it should be written down, and we should have a way of implementation. And this is because I do think we have a lot of say. If we go there and say, we were sent here and we have a reason to be here, and you have to listen to us, or we are going to bring all the diasporans to and stop everything that is coming to this country. And we will have the influence because we have signed a MO, and we will talk to you guys through whichever means, even flying here, because some of us will still have their businesses still going. We come here and tell you, look, this is not happening. Let us now stop remittances for 2 months. We see where those 300 billions will come from. And I am happy, and I can guarantee you that I will even resign from the post, because me, I work with the Labour Party here, and I have a lot of influence with the way they work here. If I say I will do it, if I don't do it, I'll tell you, thank you so much. It was a pleasure working with you, but I can't deliver what I told you. And this is the kind of people we want. So in short, long and short, I want to say that from here, I want to ask John if they can, he can create a diaspora club for politics only, for contestants, past, present, and the future. We don't want any people who are there who are just going to be following. We want people who can contribute to the future of this group. We don't want to be coming every day. We are talking about the problems we have, and we have done nothing. Let us have a WhatsApp group whereby those people we want to send there, they can put their proposals, their manifestos, and we say, this one we can promote, this one we can sponsor. And we ask every diasporan to contribute, not a lot of money, just £50. We say this will go to the committee, and we are sending these people there, and if they don't do what they are going to do, this is what we are going to do. And I'll tell you some of the things you can do to those people who have signed those laws and they don't do what they are supposed to do. I know I couldn't be, sometimes I can be unrealistic, but
Musau, is this a politician voice speaking, or Musau? Because we have 2 things. We have a politician voice just speaking because you want to entice people with your incentives that you never give us when you become a politician, or is this a voice of real reasoning that this is going to happen?
Listen, my track record speaks for itself. I do things that I can do. If I can't do things, I will not do it. If I say this is possible, I will know it is possible for me. And I know the backing I have with people here and back home, I can deliver what I'm saying, and I talk with authority from experience and from my own, I would say, research. What is possible and what not possible. I'm sure if we have like GoFundMe today, that money, I will deliver, and I don't want to go alone because I can get there and get killed quickly. I want when I get killed, somebody else represents and comes in and supports me. You got what I'm talking about?
Yeah, good.
At least 2 people, at least one can be sacrificial lamb, and the other one remains fighting. but we are ready for it. When you go to politics, you don't go there when you are a coward. You have to be ready for it. You know, like now there is dynasty versus hustler. It is not going to be easy. And guys, we will go there and we will fight. Maybe by that time that thing will have ended. But what I am saying is, from today, the organizers of this wonderful forum, I want you to go ahead and get some people, serious people who can get into the political club. Not everybody. These people like these ones representing here, let them join. Let's continue talking through our WhatsApp group called the Diaspora Club. Let us have all the representatives from different organizations, political and empowerment forums. And I will even be able to share my manifesto there. I'll be able to say what other things I think we could do to get those people out there who are going to be the guinea pigs, the case studies for diaspora. We can do it. It won't be the first time, but I know it will happen. So this is what I can say for now. And thank you for bringing that up, John. And if I have not answered the one about the root cause of the problem, if somebody can say which problem, I am happy to come back on board and answer that question more exclusively. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Musau. Before I hand it over to Sarah, I'm just going to say thank you again to our viewers. Thank you. Don't forget, as you read, as you watch, as you listen, please share. Share it, like it, comment, and let's say your views. Now, someone says, no, reading what our viewers are saying, Musau, do you mean you don't know which problems we have? That's just someone saying when you ask that question, but it was just a question. Musau, you have a lot of heat today, and I have to give it to you. I will not sugarcoat it. I have to read it. And that's because you want to stand for an MP. That means you have to have a tough skin. Wanaita inaitwangaje na Kiswahili? Nini ngumu, ngozi ngumu. Oh, you must have that. So you need to listen to this. Someone said, Thomas Musau, bribing those people to get ministry, really? Thomas Musau should be kept as far away from the elective position as possible. And someone said, use this kind of a forum to bring people together. It's possible to use this forum to bring people together. What causes bad leadership, Thomas? I think the problem in Kenya is lying and fear of accepting and tackling the problem. They identify the problem and instead of accepting and tackling the problem, they sugarcoat it and eventually see it as not a problem anymore. Someone said, set ambitions, goals for the country and a way to achieve them. Start with self-sufficiency. Why are we promoting this dynasty and hustler thing? And okay, Walter, thank you for replying that. Okay, it is negative to the Kenyan community. Yeah, Kenyan society. Okay, thank you very much. We'll move on. I'm happy today. We'll move on to Sarah, please.
Thank you. I just wanted to respond to Alex when he talked about the Arab and the Jewish and how they are able to lobby the governments of Western countries so that their respective home country can be included in the policies that are put forth by the government of whatever country they live. Here in US, I've seen that, and of course, he mentioned about President Biden, talking about having Ireland in their mind or in top list of the policy when they think about international policies, some of the international policies. Now, when I think about that, I think about ourselves as Africans, as Kenyans, and look at how we are rich with the resources in the countries where we come from. In Kenya, we have cash crops, we have oil, we have a lot of resources that we could use to benefit our people back there. But the countries where we live, all of us here, wherever you live, it's a Western country, and the influence that they have, the negative influence they have to the Wajiko, to the people in our country, it's huge. Because if it is coffee, if it is whatever resources that we have, the farmer get very little out of whatever work they put forth to produce whatever material they produce. The countries, Western countries, they benefit a lot. They benefit from the oil, they benefit from the gold, they benefit a lot. So even if Africa is rich with the resources, we don't end up, benefiting from the resources that we have. What can we do? And that's where, EPAD come in, because the kids that our children, they are born in whatever countries they are born, and they are citizens of that country. And in a few years, they'll take possessions in the leadership, in the organization that they will hold. And if they're united, they'll be able to influence the policies that are being put forth. Just like the descendants of Jewish, whoever it's the Jewish or the Irish, it's not necessarily the ones that migrated, but it is their children who have taken that step and they have become the lobbyists of their country. So at EPAD, we are helping our children realize that their home is in Africa. Their home is in Kenya or Uganda or Tanzania. We work with kids from all over Africa. And their job is to work together now. It's to empower them with education, but also create a network that they can use even to influence things like this when they grow older. And now that is EPAD, but with one voice. All of us here should join one voice consortium and become powerful in it, because that is an organized organization already that we can all come through with it. And if we are united as Kenyans in one voice, we can be able to do a lot that can influence what the government do in Kenya. I want to mention a little bit about, I believe it, not sure who was talking, but one of us mentioned about himself contributing, having a forum where we can contribute and send several delegates to run for office in Kenya. And I want to support that and say it's a good idea, but I also feel that money talks. And even if we are not sending people in Kenya to be in the parliament or in the House of Representatives, if we have organized group and we have money, we can still influence the political seats that are there already. I work with a lot of senators and a lot of MPs right now. I know a lot of them. But how do you influence them so that they can go table your agenda as a diaspora? It is money. If you have money, you can influence them, not by giving them bribes, but by putting it in the paper. Even an article writing about things that they are doing for us. During political time, we can just do like what parks do here. They support their political candidate because they align with what that political candidate will do, or their manifestos. If we don't, we have to really understand the people that we are sending, because even if we send two Musaus or John or two other people who are interested in going, they will not influence the decision making in that country. We need to have half of those people, or more than half, aligning with our interest. And we can start by vetting those people when they are running for the office and understanding, what their interest is, and then supporting them. So we start by organizing ourselves, having those groups that Musau is saying, having, if it is one voice, which I highly recommend, joining it. And then with one voice, we can now have a government that is learning our kitty. And like you said, I have always said, we contribute, each one of us can contribute $50. And you can imagine how many people are here in the diaspora. We are so many of us. If we contribute, we have the money and we have the government. Now we start vetting the manifesto of people who are running for office. We'll be able to change it. We don't even need to go back there to work, to go to the office. Yes, it is good to set a few of those who have interest, but we actually don't need to be in the parliament for us to influence change. We can do it from here. From today, we can decide that this is what we will do and start doing it. Not only talking, but doing it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And that is, they say we are almost 4 million Kenyans in diaspora. If we all give £50, that will be making Kenya again, making our 48th county. If they can just allow us and say, okay, diaspora, you're crying too much. What do you want? We want our county. Okay, make it. Just give us the opportunity. We can actually do it ourselves without any government support financially. Diaspora, we can do it. And we should do it ourselves. And that is why John is here. John is the chairman of Kenya Diaspora Alliance. And we also have, of course, somebody representing One Voice Consortium. And I'm both Kenya Diaspora Association and One Voice Consortium. I'm part of them, the two organizations. And we also have Kifua, Kenyans in France Umbrella Association. And it's those three organizations that actually is bringing this program up. I know a lot of people have been saying, you guys are being paid, you're getting money, that is Kenyans for you. We don't listen to negativity, we don't listen to small minds, we do what we do and we do it best. So the people bringing this program is KDA, Kenya Diaspora Association based in the UK, Kifua, Kenyans in France Umbrella Association, it speaks for itself, it's in France, and also One Voice Consortium based in the USA. Are we getting paid? I think Musau should start giving us money. Musau should start giving us some money so we campaign for him here. We brag his name, Musau. Okay, thank you very much. So I know Liz has her hands up, but before I go to Liz, I would like Walter again, because Walter now is standing in the gap for OMAX. So Walter again is going to read what OMAX have written. So, and then I'll go to Liz and then to John. Thank you.
Thank you, Lydia. OMAX says, it really aches when public funds are mismanaged for the gains of satisfying their stomachs and families. Look at scandals like Goldenberg, Anglo leasing, Chicken Gate, among other social injustices. We are a nation where roles played by citizens and those Kenyans abroad can't be appreciated. Lest collective responsibility is taken, our nation is headed back to Stone Age period. That's the first one he said. And then there's another one. The root cause of problems in Kenya is, he starts off, 1 is poor leadership and governance. 2, political hooliganism. 3, corruption. And 4, wrong choice of leaders in position due to tribalism, nepotism, and favoritism. Back to you, Lydia.
Thank you very much, Walter. And before I go to Liz again, I'll just read one thing that somebody said. And again, appreciating all our viewers on Facebook. We've not forgotten you. We know we are together. We don't want you to feel like we're here and you're there. We are together. One important good resource diaspora can contribute is advocacy against social ill treats, such as anti-corruption, early girl pregnancy. Mzee Kenyatta's voice in London made a big difference in the 1950s. Well, that's from Tobias. And that is why, Tobias, we are fighting for our 48th county and they know how powerful that county will be. And that is why I don't even think they will allow that to happen, but we have to fight as diaspora for that to happen, because if we have that county, that one county can actually represent the whole Kenya. If we go with the mindset of we are not going to join them. Yeah, if we go with that mindset of we are not going to join them because we'll be together as diaspora, because right now what is happening in Kenya, and somebody just talking about girls' pregnancy, I don't know if you heard of the 200 girls who got pregnant, and 10 of those girls was actually their fathers who made them pregnant, their biological fathers. That was sickening up to the stomach. And I don't understand what's being done with all these girls getting pregnant at early age. I don't know where the women reps are, if they're eating the money as well at the same time, I don't know. And I hope when I go to Kenya, my passport won't be flagged at the airport. This is the girl, this is the one. I'll look for Musau. So Musau, there is something happening in Kenya right now, especially with girl child, which is so upsetting. Girls getting pregnant from 11 years to 15 or 19, and most is their biological fathers raping them, they're getting pregnant. You're telling me that there's no problem. Where are the women reps? I've not heard one of them speak about this issue. Girls are being used as commodities. They're being used as properties. They're being used as dusters to wipe the floor right now. Musau, I don't need you to respond to that. And we are not talking about that either. That was just a by the way, because I know you come here as politician and you're not going to leave this floor. So I'll give it to Elizabeth. Sorry, Musau. Elizabeth, you're muted, darling.
Okay, sorry. I'm saying, as I've been analyzing what we've been talking about, and I think first things must be done, which is fighting for that diaspora county first. Otherwise, we will talk, and we don't have a voice. So let's fight for that. And so let's look at how we are going to fight for it. Fighting does not mean going out there throwing stones or what, but we can look at how, I know we have lawyers in the diaspora also that we can work with, and we have also lawyers back home that we can work with. And when I was hearing every one of you talking, is like every one of you is connected with some politician or some women rep or some what or some what. We can push our agenda, I think. What we need now is just that county, the diaspora county. That is what we need. And there we will have a voice, and we will be in charge. Like, we will be vetting the people who are going to represent us back home, because it is ours. So we'll have a say there. It will not be like it's the politicians in Kenya will have the say on it. It will be us. And since we are abroad, we've seen different things. And what I would say, let's stop comparing Kenya with these developed countries. We cannot reach there right now. We cannot. Politically, health-wise, educationally, house-wise, like, what do I mean? Like, shelter-wise? No, we can't. Right now, we cannot. So, like I said earlier, baby steps. Let's look at what is going to get us there first. And when we are in, then let's start now thinking of how now we are going to do it, how we are going to elect our leaders, the diaspora leaders and representatives and what. And again, let us use this good name of Kenya, because personally I started a WhatsApp group for just Africans who were living in Kenya as refugees. And there are so many, like there's Congolese, Rwandese, Burundian, South Sudanese. There are just so many that I cannot count all of them. But one thing that stands out is how they talk about Kenya. They praise Kenya. They say that Kenya gave them a home because most of them lived there for so long, like 8 years or so. Even right now, when I'm doing a presentation, right now, I'm not home. I'm at a friend who lived in Kenya for 8 years, and she's South Sudanese, you see? They praise Kenya, and they like, in fact, when we do projects, they support us a lot. Not because, okay, they support us because they lived in Kenya and they feel Kenya, and they feel like they're halfway also Kenyan, you see? So let us also use that to build the diaspora. I know each one of you, wherever you're living, I know there are people from Africa who fled to Kenya. We are so lucky, you know, until now, and we should continue praying that the peace remains like that. And if you hear how they talk about Kenya, it's really, you just feel proud, because they say, okay, I lived there, it was nice, it was, you know. And when you have a project, they still support. If it is for Kenya, I'm still going to support it because Kenya gave me a home. Kenya was good. The people of Kenya, they were, you know, such comments, they uplift one's spirit. So we will keep on saying, okay, we are not doing so much. We are not doing so much like politically, education-wise, health-wise, but at least we are somewhere. And we should appreciate that we are somewhere. Only that, we need to push further and more. But we are somewhere compared to other countries in Africa. Kenya, we are somewhere. That one I can assure you, because here, where in the Netherlands, I've created an association for all Africans. All Africans. So, and we speak and they give their opinion. And if you compare things, you compare notes, Kenya, we are somewhere. So we just need to push. Let's continue pushing and also appreciate the far that we've come, because we cannot compare ourselves with other countries, actually. We cannot. We are somewhere. It's only that you cannot see it.
Okay. Thank you.
And
Thank you,
Elizabeth. I'm not yet done.
Okay.
A bit. So the way I was saying, let's stop comparing. Like, was it a week ago that the cabinet of the Netherlands just decided that they're resigning? That one cannot happen in Kenya. I know. Why? We are still behind politically. We cannot just say, okay, this thing is good. Like, why they resigned here, it is something that if it was in Kenya, surely they will argue about it. They will drag and they'll just say, no, I'm not leaving the office. I don't want. But here it was simple, because you were supposed to deliver this, you didn't deliver. I feel guilty, let me just resign. Simple like that. And because anyway, elections are coming soon also in the Netherlands, and still it is peaceful. But let us not compare ourselves with the Netherlands, with America, because they're far much better than us politically, education-wise. If you start looking at the education system, health-wise, and things like that, so it is us who are in diaspora to think, because we've seen it. Like for myself, I'll speak for myself. I had cancer, right? Breast cancer. I've gotten my whatever treatment here. So now you as a diasporan, I know each and every one of you have gotten maybe education, or maybe like maybe you've gotten another degree added to your education or what, or maybe you got sick and you had some experiences. Why can't we use these experiences that we've seen here, maybe to emulate it in Kenya? Like, for example, I saw how they're treating cancer patients here. What can I do as a person? You don't have to be in leadership directly. You can also do it like my sister in the US said. What's her name again? I just forgot.
Sarah.
Sarah, like she said, you don't have to. Is she the one who was giving us the name of the book, or it was someone else?
But that was
the
Alex.
leader?
Alex.
Huh?
That was Alex.
Yeah. For me, I believe I do not have to be in leadership to make a difference. You can still make it even if you're not in leadership. You can still make it, and you can still do a lot for your country. There's a lot to be. There's just a lot to be done. In fact, those people actually who are in political seats right now, most of them, they don't have even enough time to mingle with the community or to impact the community, or they don't have that time.
Yeah,
because they are in meetings.
I'll stop you there. I'll stop you there, Elizabeth.
Yeah,
I'll stop you there. I'll just read what on Facebook again, and saying thank you to our viewers. This is a good beginning, so this is a good platform to begin to talk about our voices to be heard.
Yeah.
The panel is amazing, and Lydia, you are excellent moderator. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Teresa. We all have to wake up. Corruption is killing our country, period. Someone said, Elizabeth, the bar is set so low in Africa. That's why they think Kenya is amazing, but it's really not. Kenya is a beautiful country. Yes, we agree, and very resourceful. What fails us is an disorganized, functional system. The more someone says that, coupled with capitalism, tutasiaga meno. Okay, tutasiaga meno tusipochagua viongozi bora. Tutasiaga meno tusipochagua viongozi bora. Thieves are bribing their way back. Okay, and they will ride into State House with the wheelbarrow as we watch. Washenzi sisi. Oh, okay. Someone is actually blaming us, and I think we've actually identified that the problem is us diaspora. And just to say what Elizabeth was talking about regards the friends. Yes, I know they say about Kenya and everything, but they will relocate to Kenya permanently once we have our 48th county. Okay, thank you so much. So I'll go to John. John, please. And I know Sarah is on fire today. Her hand is up again. Whoa, Sarah, calm down, my friend. Okay, so I'll go to John now. And then I'll come to you, Sarah.
Thank you, Lydia, and the fellow panelists. One thing I would say, after I've stayed in UK for 20 years, I've had diaspora speaking in the living room and in the backyards, and they all complain about what is happening in Kenya. Maybe I'm not a politician, but at one point I realized, one, I don't engage in a discussion where we cannot agree on a way forward. And that's why in 2007 I said, we cannot keep on talking. Let me offer myself. Whether I lose or I don't, let me offer myself. Because if it's something that I cannot change, I will not talk about it. Now, one thing that I want to say, why myself, I'm a businessman per se here. And even when I'm trying to bring the different Kenyan groups in the UK under the KDA, is for the purpose of having a UK umbrella organization that can speak on one voice. But that is not the end. We have already engaged with France, we're under the Kifua, and now we are engaging with the US. Because my vision, and I know it's the vision of so many people, is for this organization to come together and speak on one voice. The moment you are divided, nobody takes you serious. You become just a pawn in a game of chess. So what I would say, diaspora, once we are united, I would even suggest we start a non-governmental organization called DINGO. That is Diaspora Non-Governmental Organization. Under the DINGO, we put our money, yeah, where our mouth is. We say 60% of that money that will be contributed by diaspora on a charitable ground, we put that to charity. 20% we put under advocacy. And 20%, the other 20%, we put under political, where we can sponsor some mouths to go and speak on our behalf on a political level. First of all, 60% why? We need to have a substantial influence in the society. People must see diaspora doing things. I appreciate what Musao you did by going to help that guy who was imprisoned, and I think he was in prison for 10 years or 20 years. Unless we start doing practical things that are touching people's life, we can talk until the cows come home. That is exactly what I will tell. I've been on the ground. Put your money, put your mouth where your money is. Let's have an non-governmental organization. Why do we have, when Catholic Church speak, they know they are educating people, they are dealing with vulnerable people, and they are contributing even from primary all the way to universities. They can be listened. We have others called ADRA. It's a UK non-governmental organization. I went to a school in Baringo where we were being supported, myself included, by one called Christian Aid from UK. And that's why when the embassies speak, the government listens, because they fund some projects that the government is not doing. Probably we should start with a non-governmental organization. And when that time comes, you might, have you seen every time you see on the TV, they are advertising like all these non-governmental organizations? And that's what I tell people in Kenya. They say, can you get us someone who can give us $1 million? I say, people here give in £3, $2, £5. But because the UK or US, million or 3 million people gives in $2, the impact on the ground is felt. Let us diaspora, we start now engaging at a higher level. Let's have an non-governmental organization, because if we have an advocacy, 20% of what we will give going to advocacy. Why do we have Okiki Omutata, a single man in Kenya, who has put nearly 300 court injunctions single-handedly? And then we have diaspora. No wonder the former IEBC chairman asked in a meeting I was here, you make noise, diaspora.
Mutadu.
The big boys ask in Kenya, they are making noise. Mutadu, what will you do? I will challenge. Once myself anyway, currently I'm interim chairman of KDA, but immediately we organize UK, I will resign, because I think I am just a prophet to unite people, and then I step aside. I know there are better people in this country, in UK, who can run KDA, but I want to collaborate with other organizations outside UK, in US, wherever we have Australia, where we have Kenyans, so that we come together and start speaking on one voice. That is the day we will be respected, because we will just not have a talk show. Thank you very much, Lydia.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, John. Okay, because of time, I know Elizabeth wants to say something, but because we are running out of time, I'm going to give, everybody's going to give their last remarks. And on your last remark, you can say what you want, but please, it's only 1 minute. Don't take longer than that. Is if you have to put everything, consolidate everything in one paragraph, please, because we're running out of time. And just what John have said, and I think everybody else have actually mentioned the fact that we in Diaspora, we're not together. And that's why I told John before that I'm getting shot because of KDA, right, left, and center, is because everybody wants to have an organization. So if they see, oh, there's KDA here, why KDA? Why not this? Why are you supporting KDA? And there's Kifua, why this? And there's one voice, why this? So if we keep on fighting amongst ourselves, that means that we will never. And that is why I'm telling you, the former IEBC, the former chairman told us exactly the government are looking and laughing and saying they are fighting amongst themselves. Mutadu, that is what they're saying. So if a government body can actually look at us and say Mutadu, because they know us, they come to the diaspora, they engage us, they go back, they forget about us. They even give you their number. You call it, they'll never pick it up. So they are used to us fighting amongst ourselves. They're used to us because of leadership struggle. Somebody who cannot even lead. Everybody wants to lead. Everybody wants to be the one on the front line. Now I'm with KDA. I'm being attacked already. Or you're sending too many posts. You're talking too much about the show. The show is not just for one person. This show is a platform for everybody. And if anybody wants to come and partake on the show, just say, I want to have my voice heard as well, and you come to the show. When we began, John was there because John has been there from the beginning because they're one of the organizers. We actually received a phone call from Kenya to threaten us and say, do not hold that show, do not have that person on your show, from Kenya itself. And they send us letters from the courts and letters from this. So if you see that you're being attacked on a platform or an organization, that's because you're doing something good. And I know that we are doing something good on this platform because it's not my platform, it's our platform. Because I cannot come here by myself and start talking. No one will listen to me. But it's all your points. It's everything that you say, is your ideologies, your comments, you know, your votes that counts. So I'm going to just give everybody just 1 minute for your remarks. And Omax as well, you can write yours down and Walter is going to read it as we come to conclusion. So I'll start with Walter, yours, and then you read Omax ones later. So Walter, please, if you can, your last remarks, please, Walter.
Thank you very much, Lydia. And thank you for our audiences who have been listening and sharing this time with us. All I would say is that it's time we need to walk the walk and not just talk the talk. We need to get out there and come as one voice, one force. The more we talk, we're going nowhere because we need to achieve our objectives. Out here, the people who are ready to sacrifice themselves for a better tomorrow for our children and our countries. As Jonas said, he is ready and he is willing and he's been on the ground. He knows what he's talking about. He's not a novice. He's been there 2 times. And to be there 2 times, you must have a hard back or hard skin because what you've experienced is a lot. What I want to say, everybody out there, is let's come together and let's support the right cause. Let's have integrity because people don't have integrity, right? Somebody has made a comment there that we're promoting the Hustler Dynasty. That Hustler Dynasty, for me, is a negative thing, very negative and divisive to the society of Kenya. For somebody to lose their life and everything else, that is negativity. We are not here to promote negativity. We are here to promote and empower people with an open mind and a positive mindset. Secondly, people think we get paid. We get nothing. It's our time. And this is giving back to society. People come to me, get paid. No, we don't get paid for anything. This is our time. We are giving back to society who are listening, and we are here to offer help and empower people. On that, thank you very much, Lydia, and everybody else and our viewers. Thank you.
Thank you, Walter. So I'll go to our MP for Mboni 2022. Muted.
Thank you, Lydia, for the opportunity again. Yes, I will just say that, yes, it's clear that we will never be hard. We are not going to take action, and action is now. We have to be in it to win it. There's no time for mark timing. If what John has said that there is need for NGO that will sponsor a few of us to go out there and shout loudest, I'm offering myself. Even if Aslan Nation is going to be on my foot, I know how to fight it. I do think that the fact that we have so many leaders who have served in the diaspora means that there is something about us. And we cannot be sitting out there and doing nothing when our money is being squandered left, right, center. This is the time to say enough is enough. Use our exposure, our education, our advanced use of technology, practices that we have become part of us, which includes people working with the best, to the best interest of the people and not best interest of their stomach. We are ardent enough. We can walk the talk, as Mr. Walter said. And I can't wait to see this group determined to send out people there to represent their views, and not only to represent their views, but to make an impact in the community through different projects. And forget about giving people, other people money in the terms of campaigns, and they never come back to us. You'll see next year how many people will come here. Presidential contestants, MPs, governors will be flocking here. I've been a victim of hosting people, hundreds to address for people. Enough is enough. Let's go out there and do it. I'm also born of a woman. So why can't we do it and stop shouting? Thank you very much, Lydia.
Thank you very much, our MP from Mboni County. And we go to Sarah, please.
Thank you, Lydia, for having us. I also would like to thank all our viewers and who have participated in various forums. Mine is just to draw a conclusion of the great topics that we've had today. This group has a great mind, and we all can agree that the discussion that we have had today will move us forward if we take steps. I would like to just mention that, and I guess this is why I was raising hand to say that as much as we would like to do big things, just like Elizabeth mentioned, it's good to realize that we have to start small. And to start small doesn't mean, like at the bottom of the bottom, but we can start with things that we can be able to control. And like Mr. Kanyalu mentioned, we can start with organizing ourselves, because that we can be able to control. The idea of having a diaspora county is great, but we do not have control over getting that. We can push the government to get it, but for now we start by organizing ourselves and having things that having an organization that can take us to the next level. I would definitely suggest, and I'm so grateful for this forum, because we have people from all, from London, from France. I heard about all these organizations that we have all over. If we can have a forum where we sit down as leaders, as community leaders, and draw things that can really help us become more organized, even before the next election, I think that will definitely bring us to closer to where we want to be as diaspora, and we'll also be able to support those people who have political ambition to run for offices in Kenya. So in short, we united, we can engage. United, we can move far. United, we can be able to push further than if we do go as one, even as one country. We need to stay united as diasporans and have our government, an NGO, non-profit would definitely be great for us to start. It's more like a park. That's, I guess, what they call here the political park. But for us, since we also want to engage in other things besides just political, we can start with an NGO. And then we can be able to move forward. Now, if us as adults are not organized and we are not moving forward in one unison, our kids will follow suit. Most of us have lived in diaspora for 10, 20, 30 years or more. If we are not organized, our kids, we are departing them from side to side. Let's
Sarah,
organize
it was
ourselves.
just a last remark, Sarah. Your 1 minute is up.
Okay, so let's stay united and also help our kids remain united or get united for us to progress. Thank you.
I didn't know you're a politician as well, Sarah.
No, I'm not. I'm not at all.
Okay, Alex, please.
Good. Thank you very much, Lee, panelists, and in particular those people who are watching us online. It is such a pleasure to be able to engage with people here and to be able to listen to the many ideas that people have. And I would say it is the start of the year. It is January, and there is a lot of things that we can be able to do in the next 11 months. And as people say, instead of complaining, if we can try to do a small thing that is in our hearts, whatever you can be able to do that can be able to help move the agenda forward. And one of the things that we have spoken again and again is the infighting between Kenyans in the diaspora. We are so divided. When we see somebody whose star is shining, instead of promoting that star, we are the people looking and digging up for that to undermine that person, so that we really have nowhere to stand on at the end of the day, because we almost reach a point where even those people who are very, very, very capable of helping and making a contribution are afraid to come out, because they know it will just be a matter of time before they start being fought again. As for those maybe who are able to make an influence and are doing something in the diaspora, be it business such as Musau and Kanieru and the rest of them, look for somebody. Let's try to mentor other people, so that in as much as we are saying politicians in Kenya do not want to raise anybody else, they want to keep passing these positions to their kind, pick one person and say, I'm going to choose to try and show, even if it is a friend or somebody younger than me in particular, what I do, so that they can be able to do this themselves. You look at, for example, this is a country where there are Kenyans who are making a lot of money doing things which are easy and not hard. You try to ask these people, can you help me with this? They'll take you around in circles and they will never, ever help you. That could be a change that we could make. And the last change, which is very, very, very important, and Lydia, I would say I would commend you again for this, is to look for a cause where you come from, the village that raised you up. Go and look for something local that you can be able to do. You go to the primary schools we went in, some of them, their toilets are in a hopeless state. And maybe fixing those toilets would cost you 50, 60,000 shillings or even less. Money that I'll be very, very happy to send to a girlfriend I have met on Facebook. I mean, we need really to be able to align our thoughts and say, I am not going to complain endlessly. I will begin by doing the small things that are within my remit and which I can be able to influence. And step by step, I'm sure we shall be able to do the big picture. Thank you very much again, Lydia. And for those who have listened on the panel, I really, really, really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. I'll go to Omax, but he's not here. Omax is not here again, which is very sad. He dropped out. We can't find him. So I'll go to Elizabeth, please. Your last remarks.
Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity. And what I would like to say again in my last remarks is I like things that are moving. So we've been saying, okay, we want to start an organization. Okay, there's so many other organizations. So let us start it today. Let's get moving then. Because now, Lydia, you know, because you are the one who has organized this meeting, get us started. I like doing things by not just saying, okay, we will start, let us start it and let's get moving. The only thing, let's not take advantage of each other, because I know in the diaspora, there are so many people, me being one of them. When I came here, I was taken advantage of with people who have lived here for so many years. You know, they want to prey on new diasporans. So let us be careful also when we start this, and let us also unite, regardless of our tribal backgrounds. Unite as diasporan, start this organization. We need a bank, diaspora bank, because we have the resources. So let us do that. Let us push that agenda. And lastly, just when I relocated here, there was this program that was supported by VSO, and it was VSO, Kenyan government was also involved, and the Netherlands government. So they were sending Kenyans, they were trying to send professional Kenyans to go back home to give back to the society. We can still revive that. We can still revive that. I was one of the participants who went back home. I was the last one to go. Went back with my children for 3 months, worked, did what I was supposed to do there, and came back again here. We can still do that. We can still look for those resources, because even in this place, in these countries that we are living in right now, it is not like it is our country. Our country is Kenya. You see, we are just here, maybe for education, some of us maybe because we are married, or some of us maybe for other reasons, but your country is still Kenya. So let us stop this talking all the time. Let's get moving and do it. If the Netherlands had done it before, you know, we did it before. We went, I think it was about 7 Kenyans who went back home, worked there, came back. We can still do this. We can still take our professional diasporans from abroad here. They can be going back, like maybe for a period of time, give back to the community. So how are we going to do that if we are united, and then we know how we are going to get these resources to sponsor this diasporan, or maybe even some of us can sponsor themselves just to go back and do it. So those are the kind of things we are supposed to be thinking of moving forward. Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know, I still have time?
No.
Okay.
No.
So
thank you.
so thank you very much, everyone. And it was really a pleasure to be in this forum. But next time when we come back, let's come back with a forwarded agenda. We are moving forward. We want to open our diaspora bank. We need our own bank. We need our own bank from today.
Okay, Elizabeth. Okay, thank you very much. And we need that
organization, Lydia, from today. Okay, so when we finish this, let's get up, get to the WhatsApp, put all of us, let's get started.
Yeah,
regardless of our tribal affiliation. Let us unite. If we unite, we are going to conquer this monster.
Okay, thank you very much, Elizabeth. Thank you. Okay,
thank you very much.
All right, I'll go to John. I always leave him last because he's one of the organizers anyway. So John, please.
Thank you, Lydia, and the fellow panelists. One thing I would say after engaging in this kind of discussion, I will call for unity of purpose. One, as we go forward at Diaspora, let's unite. And even as we unite, let us know that we are from different political, social, and cultural persuasions. And with that in mind, I'll be able to accommodate someone from ODM. I will be able to accommodate someone from Hustler Nation. I'll be able to accommodate someone from Jubilee and Wiper and any other. Musau is my friend. I engage him knowing that his political persuasion is Wiper. I am Jubilee. And that does not make us not to unite. If we agree our common endeavor is uniting diaspora for the purpose of us speaking together, there's a time we will be speaking as diaspora, and there's a time I'll be speaking as John, who belongs to Jubilee or ODM or any other political party. Also, on tribal lines, I'm a Kikuyu, and I cannot run away from that. The moment I come and we are putting forward a political, or rather a collective agenda for diaspora, in that matter, I will not be acting as a Kikuyu or a Griama or any other. First of all, we must show people in Kenya that we can engage rationally, despite coming from different political, economic, social persuasions. And I'm one person who believes, let's unite. Even if I sit down and talk, even before 2017, when I was vying for a political seat on Jubilee, my friends were from opposition ODM, and I never had any problem because that's what they believe, and I cannot fight them. So what I would say, diaspora, let's come together. Unity withstand, divided we fall. You will continue being flower girls who entertain, as Musa was saying, politicians are taking, or rather, it's because of COVID. They are taking or going to book for ticket to come here. They assemble you together individually. The Kambas are assembled individually, the Kikuyus individually, the Luos individually, for the whole purpose of exploiting you for the sole interest of their political agenda. Let us not be flower girls. When they come here, they call you as a Kamba unity, call them and tell them, look here, we have a Kenya diaspora in UK. Can you come and address? Because if they cannot solve your problem in unity as Kenyans in UK, you will be exploited exclusively as your own community. Even when let's say the women rep come here and they say they want Lydia so that they can talk about women, ask them, do you have an agenda for Kenyan men and women and children? These are some of the questions that we should be asking. And the last time I said, the way we are going, and I was speaking to some of the Kenyan leaders, Nigerians have gone another level. There's a time they attacked their senator who was going to Germany for treatment, and they waited him at the airport and they beat him. They asked him, how can you come here for medical treatment and our brothers and sisters are dying in Nigeria? That is the kind of aggressiveness that we require. Not to beat people, but we should now tell them in this election, don't come and address me as a Kikuyu. Address us as Kenyans in diaspora, so that we start having that common union. They will start respecting you, even by you refusing to be addressed individually or singularly. Let's unite. And the moment we start this NGO, I support Oxfam. I don't know who are the directors. Why can't I give you to our diaspora Kenyan thing? Whoever will start it, let's vet them. Let them collaborate even with the big organization like the Catholic, the non-evangelical Kenya, those churches of the Muslim community. We see whether we can have something we can present there, and we are able to put our voice there. Let's help the needy. Like every time I speak to people here, they tell you, we have computers, we have uniform. Recently, I was given someone told me they can get ambulances and the fire brigade. Those are some of the things that we should be taking there. Once you start giving several governors the ambulances, now you will not only be talking in London or in US or in Qatar or in Netherlands or in US. They will start wanting to know, what are you saying? Let's be organized. If we are not organized, we are going nowhere. Thank you, Lydia, for bringing us together. And have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. I'll say thank you to all my panelists today. You took your time to come out for almost 2 hours, 30 minutes today. This is the longest we've ever been. We've never been this long. And we actually still have people viewing us after 2 hours, 30 minutes. So I want to say thank you very much for the viewers, first of all, because without you, there's no forum. So thank you. Someone say, great panel. Thank you very much, Lydia, for this show. Blessings, evening, action, united we stand. Tribalism is a bad thing. Totally. We disagree with tribalism because even here in the platform, we have a Kamba, we have a Kikuyu, we have a Luo, we have a Luya. We're all mixed. And, you know, we talk, and all these people are actually people that are my friends that we communicate on a daily basis. So I just want to say thank you once more. Let us emulate what Nigerians did with their legislator in Germany. It may serve as a good lesson and motivation for Kenyans at home on how to deal with mediocre services. But let's not fight, but let's do it in a different way. Yeah. Okay, so thank you. Someone say Mijikenda. Tina Love, thank you very much. It's Mijikenda. All right, so thank you very much, Sarah, all the way from Obama's land. Thank you very much, Alex, from UK. It's just UK, it's nobody's land really. Obama, I know, is American land. And or should we say is our Kenyan. And thank you, Walter, as well. And thank you, our MP, Thomas Musau. And thank you very much, Elizabeth. And honestly, I'm so proud about this woman, Elizabeth. She's still undergoing treatment for cancer. And she took her time to come here and sit down for all those hours to talk to us. So thank you very much, Elizabeth. And thank you very much, Chairman of KDA, John Kaniyaru. And I always say thank you very much to me because I know nobody will say that. So I say it for myself. Like that. Thank you, Lydia. All right. So thank you very much, everybody. So as we say bye to Facebook, please, guys, stay behind. We unite in language. Okay, thank you.
At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about, how it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.